Hi, everybody. Welcome to our AMA. We've got your questions over here on the right that we're going to go through. And Brad, I think you're first up.
Hey, everybody. So first question is, why do you want to launch a new extension? From Todd. So the idea is that we wanted to launch a system on Ethereum as well. Ethereum has great tools and a lot of apps that already support it. And we also wanted to create a domain extension that doesn't mention a specific chain, one that is meant for the entire crypto community. One last thing to mention, though, is that there will be some advantages that .zil has the new extension won't have, which is the Zilliqa network has really low transaction costs. So you'll be able to do things with your domain for cheaper than you would with the Ethereum extension.
Right.
All right, so next question. Is it true that we are all getting free domain credits for the next extension? That is awesome, from Jamie. Thanks, Jamie. Yes. So for every $1 that you spent on .zil domains, you will get the equivalent amount of dollars worth of credits for the new extension. All right. So which Fortune 500 companies claim their domains? This is from Zil Whale. So unfortunately, we're not able to give out information on customers, but just so everybody knows, it's been mostly consumer brands as well as financial institutions.
So the next one here is from Leaf, and it's, will you release a simple CLI or bulk editing tools for domain management? Putting key store in browser and clicking a lot isn't my favorite. So the answer is yes. Don't have a timeline for that right now. If you have a lot of domains that you need to manage, you can email support at unstoppabledomains.com, and we'll get back to you. So we have CLI tools internally, right, that we're doing this for some customers who have hundreds of domains. So yes, we can do that for you, and we will work on releasing that so you can do that from your own computer. All right, so the next one is, I really like the Smart Escrow feature, so thank you, I appreciate that. And can you tell me more about it, Joey? So the contracts are now open sourced, and Braden actually just published a blog post about how it works, so you can check out the Medium page for more details. Just a short overview and kind of how we thought about doing it. So we designed it to work for novice users. And one of the design features that we put in there is we want to make sure that people could send their money from an exchange account instead of having the domain like auto get bought by the person who sent money in, because that could create issues for new users. And we also force the designation of both parties on the contract so that our front end is able to double check to make sure that the person who's just about to buy the name, it'll actually show up on our website and give them an alert if it doesn't look like the person who's about to buy it is the person who will end up owning it. So that's why it was designed that way. Also, there's a couple features about Zilliqa that meant that we couldn't get it down to less than 2 transactions on either side. So we're working on that. We think we can get it down a little bit less, make it a little simpler. But there are some limitations there. And then finally, I do think that as a first iteration for Smart Escrow transfer of blockchain domain names, I'm very proud. And it's actually the first escrow transfer of a domain name on blockchain that we're aware of. Cool.
Awesome. So this one's from Crypto514. Do you have a time frame for the .zil auction? No, we don't. We are waiting for it to become easier to buy Zilliqa for US citizens, so for people based in the US. So we will give updates once we have them, but nothing in the short term.
All right. Next one is from Robbie, and it says, I saw IPFS hash section on my managed page. What is this? So Robbie, good eye. That is actually a way for you to point your domain name to an IPFS hash. So users can now look up your name on chain, see the IPFS hash, and be able to resolve the content, most likely through an IPFS gateway like Cloudflare has one. And this is the very beginning stages of websites for .zil domains. So it is now possible to build a full website, publish to IPFS, and have others find the content through a blockchain lookup. Disclaimer there, IPFS currently works well for static websites, so it feels like you're back in the 1990s. That's just the current status of the technology, but it is now possible, and we'll have more around this in the near future. That's actually what we're working on the rest of the year. So next one is, and this is about management. So, and it's from Jackie. It says, can you explain what it means when I set UD as an operator? So what's happening here is you're permissioning Unstoppable to make transactions on the blockchain records associated with your domain name when you set us as an operator. And why you would want to do this is because it allows Unstoppable to set up the crypto addresses and everything else inside the management section when you're in the app, clicking around. Additionally, it allows Unstoppable to pay for the transaction fees. So if you set 30 cryptocurrency addresses, if you were to do it on your own, you would literally have to get Zilliqa into your account, and then you'd have to click the button 30 separate times for every single one of those crypto addresses that you wanted to save, and then and everything else you want to change and manage. So it would be kind of like a user nightmare, even worse than most other applications because of the number of cryptocurrency addresses that we're supporting. So that's why we built this feature in. You are able to unlink it, right, when you are done setting up your domain names. And I want to point out, like for higher security, please unlink Unstoppable as an operator when you're done managing your names. And we're actually going to make this an auto requirement on the back end. We'll just unlink ourselves after a period of time. But just to be clear, Unstoppable never has the ability to transfer your name or assume ownership, just the ability to manage them for the time period where they are the operator.
Cool. So this one, we don't actually have the name of the person who asked it, but I noticed that there are Chinese investors behind Unstoppable Domains and Zilliqa. Does this affect the unstoppable nature of .zil domains? And will it affect the future fairness and stability of .zil domain names? So we do not have any Chinese investors, but even if we did, it wouldn't matter. The domains are on the blockchain, and even we can't stop them. All right, so this one is from the Tooth Fairy. Realistically, how long do you think it will be before .zil will turn up on Google searches? So not for a while. The first step is for websites to get more popular. Then traditional search engines will have an incentive to start indexing them. Initially, you'll see portals that suggest top websites, similar to how Yahoo started out in the 1990s. All right, so this one is from Genghis Khan. Great names from the community. Are there any big wallet providers out there interested in your product yet, like Exodus, Atomic, Trezor, Ledger, Binance? So we just had Coinomi integrate, which we're really excited about, and we have active conversations with many big wallets. So more to come there. This one is from Carlos. How will the DNS find my .zil domain when I publish a website on it? So blockchain domains don't use DNS. Browsers, extensions, and wallets will read the blockchain directly to find your blockchain records and resolve the domain from there. All right, so this one is from Keith. Can you provide an update on the blockchain domain grant program? So it's been going great. We've had a lot of interest, as you've probably seen from Twitter. I've had a lot of applications. We've had several wallets integrating, and we're keen to keep it going.
Next one is from Wayne Camino, and it says, can you describe Viewblock in greater detail with respect to domain owner identity and privacy? So Viewblock is a block explorer, and as such, it allows users to easily see all blockchain transactions. ZNS is a domain name system built on the blockchain, so they're able to watch the blockchain and then provide information about smart contract calls and data stored on-chain. So I guess they're a typical block explorer, just like Etherscan or anyone else. They don't have any special access to data over anybody else. They can only see what you have published up on the blockchain. And we actually think it's a great benefit to everybody that they're indexing .zil names and surfacing them so that it's easier for people to check, right? For instance, that they are the proper owner of their names. Next question is from Mike, and it says, any update on subdomains and renting out domains in the future? So we're working on easy decentralized website deploy, which we alluded to a bit earlier, and you can see already the IPFS hash in your dashboard. We're also still working on the mobile app. We did finally get it approved on Apple. We're doing another iteration here before we launch. And then we're likely going to have another iteration on escrow smart contracts before we tackle pro features for domain management. Now that being said, if you have to manage a bunch of domains for setting up cryptocurrency addresses or something, please email support. We can help you with that in the short term. For subdomains, it's going to be a little bit more time before we take a stab at that, probably once we've gotten out the other features that we just have higher priority in the pipeline. Cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody. I think that's it, and we're going to try to do these a little bit more frequently. Thanks again for suggesting all these questions. And yeah, I think that's it. Unstoppable signing out.